Hello, good morning. I'm Russ Regentz with Blue Wave Radio's Roatan Real Estate Roundup, sponsored by Remax. Today we have two very, very special guests, Mr. Mike Chestnut and Mr. Kyle Kuhlmeyer, two of the top agents at real estate here at Remax locally. Guys, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. So, guys, I've had this conversation with you guys. We've all had it in the past. You guys are two of the most, successful agents on the island. And one thing we talk about is why Roatan? Why Roatan, guys?
Well, Russ, to borrow one of your radio catchphrases, why not? White sandy beaches, blue turquoise water, sunglasses, flip-flops, and shorts year-round. Who wouldn't want that?
I agree. Only time I wear closed-toed shoes is when I'm working out, when I don't want to break my foot on something. So tell me, Mike, about you. What brought you here? What turned you on? Why did Roatan get you?
Well, we did some research on several places in the Caribbean, and one of the places we had not heard of because we're not divers is Roatan. Mm-hmm. So we actually found Roatan on HGTV, Caribbean Life, and my wife and I were freezing our butts off in West Virginia, watching Caribbean Life and go, where's Roatan? Why Roatan? Hey, let's check this out. And so we started looking in about 6 months of research, and we absolutely found that this fit what we were looking for. And it reminds us a lot of home with the rolling hills. Of course, we don't have the white sand beaches, but the roads are similar. There was just so many positives that attracted us here, which I can share more later.
Well, give me one. Well, I got you. Let me put you on the spot. Let me get you one more because you came with your wife. What was one thing that really drew both of you?
Okay, so one of the things that was really important was we're not in Hurricane Alley. We literally were scared of being in the Bahamas, making an investment, someplace like that, where you are in a situation where you stand the chance of losing everything. Okay, coming to Roatan, we're not in Hurricane Alley. We haven't had a hurricane here that actually hit since Mitch.
Yeah, knock on wood, guys. Knock on wood.
Correct.
Yeah, Kyle, I know your story a little bit too. Because we talked so much, but I know you were a little more. You were island hopping, shopping a little longer, I think, than Mike and his wife were, right?
Yeah, mine is truly fate. Fate brought me here. I'm here by accident, and they got it worked out their way. I lived in Dominican Republic, Mexico, the Corn Islands in Nicaragua, and I decided to stay here because it's expat-friendly. Mm-hmm. We speak English. There's no struggle to learn the language. I am learning the language slowly, but with the English radio station, mm-hmm. English channels, and English being spoken throughout the island, it makes it a lot easier to live here and acclimate.
In U.S. dollars.
Oh, sure.
U.S. dollars, right?
Yeah.
Banking so you guys actually has lived here and U.S. dollars, both.
So you guys are mentioning expat-friendly. I like that phrase. I think that's really, really applicable. We're not young kids anymore. I like to think that we're all 25, 30 anymore, but we're not. So how did, healthcare and, and issues like that kind of permeate into your decisions?
Well, healthcare here is amazing. I was blown away by not only it being affordable, but the doctors, getting to meet the doctors, dentists, and other healthcare providers here. It's old school. They actually care for their clients, their patients, and it's the pharmaceutical industry and the insurance industry hasn't got their tentacles in to the doctors down here, and their passion for their clients is amazing.
So they practice medicine versus pushing drugs.
Correct.
Exactly.
How about you, Mike?
Yeah, well, that's he hit on some really good points, and I would also like to add that you walk right up to the pharmacy here when you need medicine. without a prescription, without seeing a doctor. So if it's something that you're using routinely, like a monthly prescription, you walk right in, you buy it over the counter at a fraction of the cost of what you would pay in the U.S. It's very simplified. They don't require you to go visit a doctor to get a prescription. So it's actually so friendly for us to be able to do those kind of things on something that we're routinely using.
Yeah, very nice. Accessibility. I like it.
Yeah.
One thing, let me get your guys' opinion on something. I was talking with a friend the other day, and I've started to notice, again, we've been here quite a while, so I've started to notice some different, kind of some changes or some more, governmental paying attention to the environment, specifically to our mangroves. I know countries like Costa Rica, they make their environment very, very, very high prevalency. They don't want a lot of building that is, right in the mangroves, right in their sensitive areas. I've noticed that started to pick up here and having dialogues as well about not just allowing just rampant growth everywhere. You're going to have growth. It happens. But it seems to me like it's just gotten smarter. Would you guys agree with that statement as agents?
100%. And I would also say that firsthand experience for me with a client, they own property beside a client that 20 years ago decided to cut the mangroves down in their area, in their location. And the government come in and imposed not only a monetary fine, but a 10-year stay from the property where they can't develop it, they can't use it, they can do nothing with that property for 10 years.
Wow.
And so it is something that we take serious. And I think as stewards of the land that we live here and a country that has welcomed us and give us the opportunity to represent, right? It's our job to help enforce and be cognizant of that situation.
Yeah. I like
also, there's a moratorium on putting docks in the west side of the island. You can't build a dock anymore. So yes, they are getting smarter, and their goal is conservation and preservation.
Yeah. I like a lot of the work, the Roatan Marine Park is doing with as far as coral restoration. They're now being invited into South Florida to help show some of the techniques that they're using locally here to help grow the Floridian coral. And like I said, I just keep kind of seeing that grow, that emphasis on there. Let's talk about a negative. Put you guys on the spot. So growth is here. It's coming. There's pros and cons. Without getting too, bashing anything, what's one of the negatives that you found living here that you really didn't think you would?
And that's going to take a while. There's not a whole lot of negatives, and here's why. The minute I start thinking negatively about something, I compare it to where I came from. It's no longer a negative. I mean, there are things here, I'll call them inconveniences. Sometimes when they're constructing the road, they have trouble with progress. It's slow. It's tedious. You don't always have the guy waving the flag and directing traffic. So that could be a negative, but compared to Southern California traffic, I'll take it all day long.
I think one of the negatives has been our landfill, which we are 100% addressing. Come by the end of the year, we're supposed to have incinerators in place, and we're going to burn the trash. And so right now it is the landfill, which, think about this. What's incredible is they're going to take the landfill and turn that into a soccer field and some things for the kids.
Great.
So we have this opportunity where progress, which in every developing country you have, right? We're coming along. We really have people consciously thinking about how to make Roatan better, which is one of the reasons we love Roatan.
Yeah, that's a good point. Being from Kyle reference, you mentioned SoCal. I'm from the Houston, Texas area. My family is. And our main freeway is called I-45. That thing has been under construction for 40 years. No joke. It just never stops. And it's funny, Kyle, you referenced a good point. There may not be somebody waving you through or managing traffic, but you know what I found? A little bit of a consideration, a little bit of island chill out will solve most of those problems that you deal with,
Yeah, people are much more laid back here. I can feel the tension the minute I land in Houston. I'm serious. I feel the angst, the uncertainty. I just feel it. We're here. Everything's laid back, chill vibe. That's why we're here.
Yeah, say the least. So now, tell me a little bit about your guys' decisions. And this is something I generally don't know. Were you guys both real estate agents back in the States, or did you finally get involved here? How did all that work?
Well, for me, I was not. I was a sales engineer for a bearing and power transmission company. And then I also owned 2 businesses in the U.S. And one of the things that brought me here, of course, was one of the business I owned was a coffee company. And for those that don't know my past history, when I came here, I was the first coffee roaster on the island. I started a company called Roatan Coffee Roasters, and that's a passion of mine, and that never changed. But 100% for sure. I was not a real estate agent, and the only reason I don't have my coffee business any longer is I had to make some tough decisions and go to the U.S. for a little while to help some ailing parents.
Makes sense.
For me, I considered being a real estate agent in San Diego, but the industry's really cutthroat and nasty, and so that kind of swayed me away. I've always been an entrepreneur, and I've been blessed on Roatan to have a lot of doors open for me. And one of them was Remax. When I had this opportunity, I took it, I jumped at it, and mainly because it's Remax. This Remax name, the Remax brand, it just oozes with quality and integrity, and that's why I decided to become an agent. I'm in my 3rd year, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, and knowing you both pretty well, I mean, you both are good, good stewards. I love that word, Mike. I think that's really a true good statement. But you guys are also very optimistic, positive guys. And frankly, you're entrepreneurs. I mean, you're not just going to sit there on a beach all day and stare. You guys are going to have something to do. And I think you take that package, again, knowing both of you guys, take that package of characteristics, it definitely, real estate and so, and delivering people's dreams fits both you guys. So I'm sorry, it's a shameless plug. I like both you guys. So
we'll take it. Yeah, it's one of the reasons Kyle and I developed teamwork together. We started Roatan Paradise Homes with Remax, of course, was so that we could help each other. If one of us is gone, the other one's got the back. So we work as a team. We kind of have like minds, although we're from 2 different cultures. We work well together, and we enjoy promoting Remax, and we're passionate about it.
And again, the island lifestyle has a lot to do with that decision, team up, because now we both could go and take a vacation instead of being stuck here because we have all these listings. We don't want to do that. We don't want to spread ourselves thin. We have each other's backs, and then it allows us to have our free time, which is, create that balance, that stability.
Well, I think you nailed that on the head, Kyle. Especially I know a lot of us, myself included, the term, life balance or balanced life, and it doesn't exist a lot when you're chasing that brass ring, especially in the United States. They demand 24/7, 365 out of you. And, my first year here, I definitely it was a reset. I was kind of backing that down a little bit. And Kyle, I haven't known you since, about the day I walked in on here. And it takes a little time to kind of let the island sink into you. So,
Yeah.
To say the least. Well, guys, hey man, we've had a great time this morning. If you can't feel the energy and the positive vibe on this video coming from Mike and Kyle, you're just missing it, man. Definitely when you get here, when you get a chance, when you want to have your discovery meeting, when you're looking for your piece of paradise, reach out to Mike Chestnut, Kyle Kuhlmeyer here with Remax locally on Roatan, and do yourself a favor. Come see us, come spend some time, and see exactly why it is that we all love Roatan, to say the least, guys. Thank you very much, fellas.
Thank you, Russ.
Thank you, Russ. Appreciate your time.
It's been great. Again, I'm Russ Regentz with Blue Wave Radio's Roatan Real Estate Roundup, sponsored by our great partners at Remax. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you soon.